If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you running a business is tough. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Join the over 21,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/C-suite. netsuite.com/C-suite.
Welcome to the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I'm here with the homie Kevin.
Hello, everybody. Happy late Wednesday evening and or Thursday morning whenever you first find this podcast. Or, well, happy day, I guess, in general. Yeah.
All right. For all you Americans, happy Captain America Day.
Indeed.
Yep.
Huzzah to that.
Yeah, so I will both praise something and be the bookworm and correct something.
Please do, because I actually had a similar thought.
Oh, yeah. So most people today are celebrating today as Captain America's birthday because in the MCU, Captain America was born 100 years ago, 1918, July 4th. And if you go back and watch the first Avenger, you can see on his papers his actual birth date is that. However, the canonical Captain America was born in 1920. So it's not his 100th birthday, but...
Okay. Actually, I'm going to take it a step further. So 1776, it was actually July the 2nd we scored our independence. Yeah. It was July 4th where the official awesome and nice and well-finished Declaration of Independence was actually fully signed and everything. So July 2nd was the day that everyone was anticipating to be the all big important one. But thanks to the paper, it was all about the 4th. Yeah.
I like mine more, but you know.
Hey. Me too. Yours was about Captain America. Mine was about John Adams. Who would you rather read about? Come on.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, guys. So today we're back for part 3 of the Luke Cage season 2 coverage.
Yeah.
We're going to be covering episodes 8 through 10 tonight.
Yep.
So yeah,
breaking it down.
Oh yeah, we're just trudging along, making it through.
There were some. Okay, I'm going to highlight these as we across them. But right. Listeners, I want you to compare this cast with last cast especially, because there are certain things that Q and I were like, you know what? I wish they did this. Or, oh, you know what? Q, I really want to see this happen, you know? And these 3 episodes did not disappoint in some of those regards. I'm going to call those out as we come across them. Yeah.
Quite nice.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So what were your overall thoughts on these 3 episodes here?
I enjoyed them more. Let's see here. There were still some parts I thought were kind of like a little strange to me, a little out of place, I suppose. And we'll come across those, and I'll bring those up too as we approach them. But overall, I liked this part of the season, or I guess since we're breaking up into segments, I like our segment of this part more so than parts past, you know?
Right.
And there's a few characters that stand out, obviously, as we're going to approach them. But, yeah, man, that's kind of what I'm feeling, you know? Like, I like the way this is going now. How about you?
Yeah, so what I've realized is that the way that this layout of the season has gone for me so far with these first 10 episodes has been like the first 4 were probably my least favorite.
Okay.
And then 5 through 7 I thought was significantly better. And now I feel that 8 through 10 are better than 5 through 7.
Cool.
So
okay.
For me, the season is constantly getting better, which is good.
Right.
It's just unfortunate they had such a slow and kind of off-putting start.
It did not behoove them to have like less humble Luke Cage and like famous Cage this and you know Luke Cage app that. You know, yeah.
I will say this: I'm just grateful that, or at least it seems so far anyway, that I'm grateful that we don't have to go, or that we didn't have to go through like an entire season of Luke and Claire bickering back and forth about
my gosh,
about the semantics of being a hero and being a man and all that other stuff. I'm so glad that they didn't put us through that.
Yeah, I'm glad they gracefully kind of wrote her away at this point and let Luke kind of breathe out, you know?
Kind of blossom on his own, but yeah.
But you're right, this part has been going uphill, you know, up the roller coaster, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So to get right on into things, episode 208 is called "If It Ain't Rough, It Ain't Easy," which has got to be the longest title of any episode in this season.
Yep.
Director is Nima Barnett. It opens up with Shades. He's on a rooftop lamenting the actions of the night previous, where the police captain Thomas and Comanche were shot and killed. He burns the evidence, which is like his gloves and some other things, and then he
didn't burn his shades.
He didn't burn his... Well, I don't see how those would be evidence, but you're correct. He did
I suppose in that case, if I was to make a scene like that and I was to direct it, I would want that to mean more like, oh, you're getting rid of that character. Like, you're changing your being now, and you're decidingly doing so, and you're showing it by throwing away your icon, you know, the shades themselves. So in this case, it's appropriate he didn't, I suppose, you know? If the director, Nima, you pronounced? Is that her?
Nima.
Yep. Nima, her?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's her. Yeah.
Same here. That was my, whomever they are, if we're thinking alike, that's what I would suggest too. But,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's replaying the events in his head of last night. I guess he's trying to make sure that he has his story straight and that everything is in line. And he seems obviously shaken by the events.
Yeah,
and
they know how to recap.
Right. Next scene, Tilda, she wants to tell the cops the truth. Mariah says otherwise. This is the scene where her and Mariah are in the police station.
Can I just say, I really liked a lot of the acting on the inner police station there. A lot of our powerhouse people showed through really well. Excuse me, I had to piece that together. Whenever they're interacting together. Like, I loved a lot of the Tilda Cage scenery, and I loved a lot of the Mariah Misty and then the Mariah Cage scenery. It was really good, I thought. Yeah,
I thought so too. Afri Woodard, I thought that she was always, even in season one of the better actors on the show. But she's just plain out showing off in these episodes. She's doing such a great job.
This season's her resume right now. Look at me acting with this fake arm.
No, that's you thinking of Misty Knight. Afri Woodard is Mariah.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, she's doing great too. Yeah. But no, this would be Misty's. Like, yeah, I'm giving it to both of them.
Okay, I just really enjoyed Mariah's work here.
I've liked her these 3 episodes way more than some of the earlier stuff, and that's just me being nitpicky. Yeah.
I think I like her more in these episodes.
Sure.
Simply because she has more to do here than in previous episodes.
Also, yes. She wasn't... Well, never mind. Let's not focus on the past. What's happening in the now?
So Tilda wants to basically snitch and tell the cops, hey, look, some crazy Jamaican cat named Bushmaster came up in the brownstone and tied us up and set the place on fire. And then Luke Cage came in and saved us. But Mariah's like, no, we're going to handle this our own way. We have our own method of dealing with this type of thing. And so, you know, that's the situation, you know what I mean? Like, if you're Mariah, then I think that probably for sure you don't want the cops to know that Bushmaster was in there, because then we know that leads to them tying things from Bushmaster to her with illegal activities. And so.
This is one of the moments which subtly does it. And there are other moments more blaring, but this is definitely part of the times when Mariah has really pushed the underlying theme of this season in my mind, which has been freedom this whole time. Like, no, we're not going to get involved with them. We're going to do shit on our own terms. You know, those Stokes and things like that.
Right. Yeah. Shades, he goes to visit Comanche's mother, and he, consoles her, and that's the whole thing, where, I mean, he really is lamenting, but obviously he's not telling her the whole truth, and even she recognizes it,
Yeah, I mean, it's complicated because she looks like she was experienced. Like, she knew what the hell they were up to, you know? Mm-hmm. She knew that...
At least partly.
Partly. Maybe she didn't want to know the details, but she knew, you know, she knew her son wasn't some lucrative business executive somewhere or flipping burgers, yeah. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know. Yeah,
she definitely knew that her son was involved in like the shady underbelly of Harlem. Mm-hmm. But like the capacity, she probably didn't know too much.
Right. Do you think that she was able to piece together that it was Shades who offed her son?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Okay. The first time I watched it, a part of me was like, oh, are they kind of going that route? Whenever she was like, Shades, don't lie to me now. You've always been a crappy liar. Yeah. Which, damn, your detective's pretty good then. Because he's gotten away with it with everyone else.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I don't know if that was like them possibly hinting some cool shit at us, but no.
No, I feel confident that was just them hinting that she definitely knew that Shades wasn't telling her the whole truth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah. She even talks about, their childhood and all that, and how when Shades first came to the neighborhood, how he didn't speak any English hardly, and used to get beat up all the time, and Comanche was his only friend.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you and I, when you used to get your ass beat all the time.
Wait a minute, what?
And then eventually I stopped beating your ass, and then I was like...
Man, that must have gave me amnesia or something.
It did. And so to make up for it, for all those ass whoopings, I said, well, let me be his friend then.
Okay. Okay, new rule, you're not allowed to write my biography, okay?
You don't remember it, so I have to.
Touché, good sir. Touché.
Oh, shit. So Luke, he goes up and he confronts Tilda about a couple things, but the main thing he confronts her about is about lying to him blatantly about Bushmaster.
Yep.
When he went in there a couple episodes ago and asked if, if anyone had been in there.
Specifically a big Jamaican.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Specifically a rather large Jamaican man.
Yeah.
And she was rather coy with him. Even though she knew that it was Bushmaster who had just put the ass whooping on Luke, she still felt at the time the need to not say anything for some reason.
Yeah. It wasn't really clarified.
Right. But here Luke is like, yeah, you definitely knew. Mm-hmm. He was a little upset about that, and rightfully so. Some of these things probably could have been nipped in the bud, had he gotten information that he needed.
Exactly. This could have been a 5 or 6 episode season.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, because the way I see it, had Tilda originally told Luke about Bushmaster and what he got, Luke would be like, oh, so he got this, and this, and this. Okay, well, let me go to Misty and some other people and see what the hell all this is. Oh, so this is what this does to him. And I could definitely see that, just altering events.
Basically, yeah. we never would have needed, a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Lives could still be on the show that weren't lost.
Like, some of those ass whoopings that Luke took could have been avoided.
Exactly, yeah.
Not the first one, though. The first one's unavoidable.
No, the first one, that had to happen. Yeah. Unfortunate for Luke.
Right. My next note here is... his name was Thomas Rittenhauer. I would have never guessed.
Yep.
Well, we're referring to the police captain.
Yeah.
Who we just called Captain or Chief or Thomas.
Or douchebag. We called him that.
I don't know if I called him douchebag. I called him bipolar.
I called him douchebag.
Yes, his name was Thomas Rittenhauer.
Yep.
Misty's in there, just kind of lamenting the loss of her captain. And Nandi comes in and they have a talk. I guess they're pseudo friends now.
This part was off to me. Like when I first saw this, I was like, oh, huh.
It was it was a little off, only a little. I mean, death does have this weird impact where it can bring people closer together.
I mean, true, but it persisted, and that's the part where I was like, oh, okay. Because for one scene. We're not at that part yet.
Right.
But it pseudo persisted, And at that point I was like, oh, okay, what? Because, the immediate scene we're talking about right here, right now, where it's like, oh, we're having this weird cop bonding moment, and we're kind of like having this basketball sisterhood bonding moment too, and that was cool. Like, oh,
Right.
okay, yeah, death kind of does give space for, connection like that, and that's cool, sure, but we'll talk about the rest when we get there.
Yeah. And so Misty's in charge now because there's no one else in the precinct that can actively take that leading role of leadership. And also, no one else really also knows that she turned in her gun and badge.
Yeah, this I thought was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was really good of Nandi to do. But then again, it's like, it wasn't also really on Nandi. I mean, she could have snitched and said, well, no, she turned her gun and badge. She could have said that to the higher ups, but she didn't.
Right.
Yeah. Shades and so at this point they go back and they discuss the events of the beatdown that Luke took back in the prison during season 1. It was Shades and Comanche. We knew that it was goons and Shades was involved.
Yeah.
And they also said that during the time that they were that Luke and Mist were having coffee, that in his sleep he mentioned the name Comanche. I mean, maybe that's something that happened between the scenes that we just didn't.
Right, yeah. Whenever they actually did get some sleep.
But that's awfully convenient.
I know, right? Like, that's just like, okay, how can we make this connect? There we go.
Right.
Like, that was obviously not premeditated. That was, we need something right now. Let's do this. Yeah.
Comanche, you said that name in your sleep the one time we had coffee. Like, now wait a minute.
I know, right? Like,
wait a
you
minute.
can't do this bullshit. I recognize this.
Yeah.
I'm glad bullshit meters exist. Yeah. Yeah.
Bushmaster. I had this note here because I thought it was funny. All throughout this season, Shades is trying to convince Mariah, like the entire season, just sell the Basquiat. And then finally we see Bushmaster when he's in Harlem Paradise. He takes down the Basquiat.
Yep.
And they just haul it off.
Yep.
I just thought that was like a funny tongue-in-cheek type thing because, I mean, it's true. They could have sold that. I mean, like, even a low-end Basquiat painting sells for like a couple million, And so, like, I mean, if that was a high-end, we're talking like 15 million.
Yeah.
So that could have definitely helped things along in the beginning.
Shoot, yeah, that would have stopped like the plot right then too.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I'm square.
Right.
Are you? Yeah, I'm square.
Had Mariah just listened to Shades when he said, "Hey, just sell the Basquiat painting and we'll be good."
You know what? If we had time, we could put symbolism into that, like what that they possibly would have meant with that,
Right.
and talk about like, oh, well, that was representative of her holding on to her past, but then Bushmaster coming in and throwing shit away. And, but
that's true. Yeah. I mean, like the Biggie picture has more meaning than the Basquiat.
No,
I
I love the Biggie picture.
Yeah. And like we see the Basquiat, painting occasionally throughout certain scenes and shots of the series, but they never really reference it until until now. But no, I just thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. Because Bushmaster doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't. Well, it's a Basquiat painting, whatever. Never met the guy.
Exactly. Just put this cool ass picture up here, man. What's this kid wearing? I don't know.
He also finds out that Mariah is still alive and damn near breaks the table in half. Or it's a chair.
No, he just busted the chair.
Yeah, like the chair was gone.
He just flipped the front of it and pulled the back off. Just impressive. I don't even know how you get a chair to do that, even on a prop level. Like, okay, that's some cool shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely destroyed that chair.
Yeah. And in so doing...
Oh, yeah. So this is also the first time that we see him show signs of fatigue or withdrawal or...
Right. Basic, like, humanity, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah, moving on here, though. So, yeah, Bushmaster, he's upset. But, I mean, he's getting what he wants, though, except the fact that he really sucks when it comes to killing people. At least important people.
You ever hear about those challenges when you summarize a movie in one sentence?
Oh, yeah.
That, my friend, was the summary of this villain in one sentence. A cool-ass villain who sucks at killing people.
I mean, it's the truth.
Bushmaster. Like, if we have trivia and you say that, I know the answer is Bushmaster. Because you're right. It is the truth. He's failed on multiple attempts.
occasions.
Yeah.
With both Luke and Mariah. He just can't do it.
He even tied them to a burning home and just like said, nah, man, I'm burning this bitch down, brownstone or not.
Yeah. And I think what made it even funnier is that, like, when Silas, like, his right-hand man, was talking to him, Bushmaster, like, Mariah's still alive? Who saved her? And he goes, Silas goes, Luke, and then that's what he goes.
He goes,
so the guy that I was supposed to kill the first time around saved the people that I was supposed to kill the second time around. Son of a bitch.
I mean, this isn't the case, but it kind of is. Poor Bushmaster, man. He needs to go to a how-to class.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to watch your enemies die. Like, that's the way it's done.
I mean, Cornell didn't need Nightshade to kill nobody.
That's true. Like, he threw people off of buildings.
That did it.
That did it.
Done.
He would watch them splat. Like, it's done.
Yep. He beat the shit out of him in his office.
Exactly. Done. Oh, man. Anyways.
Yep.
So Luke is talking to Tilda while Misty is interrogating Mariah, and I really like both these conversations that's going on here. Well, one is a conversation, and the other is just a straight up interrogation. Yeah, like blackballing and metaphorical hair pulling. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of funny though. But no, this is a good exchange here. Well, Luke is trying to get information from Tilda about Bushmaster. Maybe he can find out more. Maybe some kind of weakness or something,
Yeah, exactly. You're the apocryphy. Please help me out. Yeah.
Apothecarian?
I'm trying to remember how you like apothecary. Like how do you say one who is in the field of apothecary? Like what is that? Apothecist? Like
Apothecathy.
I'm sorry, what? Apothecathy.
Apothecathy.
That's it. That's what I'm using the rest of this episode. Listeners, you heard it here. Apothecathy. So Tilda the Apothecathy. I'm not even going to laugh next time I use it. I'm just using it. Yep.
Oh man, yep. And Misty's interrogating Mariah.
The herbalist. I'm sorry, keep going. Apothecathy. Yeah, Apothecathy.
Apothecathy. That's the true scientific name.
It really is. Yeah. Latin, good sir.
There we go. Yep.
Okay.
And Misty's trying to get information out of Mariah. Like, okay, so who burned down your brownstone? And Mariah spins this whole elaborate tale about how it was two masked guys, so she couldn't see their faces, how they broke in, and this and that. And then Misty goes, oh, well, Tilda said it was three. Mariah, being as clever as she is, says, oh, when did you talk to my daughter? Mm-hmm. In other words, like it was a good attempt on Misty's part to be like, oh, well, I heard it was three, even though she didn't.
Right.
Like, that's still a really clever ploy because that can really trip somebody up when they're telling the story. Yeah.
Though great technique it is, it was too basic for Mariah.
It was, too basic for her. She saw right through that.
Exactly.
Yep. But no, this is great, and this is really like the first of like the rest of this run with this character with Mariah, where she's really just showing her ass and like she's just completely unhinged now, does not give a single damn. Misty, she actually at this point is Mariah. She's technically free to go because she's not a suspect. She's a victim. She's a witness. So the lawyer comes in. Old douchebag McGee. He comes in and he escorts Mariah out.
I gotta admit though, I mean, and you have to admit too, man. If we were criminals, I'd want him in my court. You know, he's the douchebag lawyer.
He is. Except as we'll see here in a couple scenes, if we go broke.
Touche. Yeah. Right now, he'd be like, I'm sorry, I don't even see you. Right. I'm talking to you, but I might as well be talking to air.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta have this many zeros in your bank account for this guy to talk to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He didn't. I mean, but at this point, he's still. I mean, and it's so funny because like the way that he lawyers up for Mariah and for Shades, like you think that he was just gonna be there no matter what going down with the ship.
Like he is just a team member, you know. Like he is like the goalie for the team, but we quickly learn otherwise, and it's funny as hell.
It is.
Yeah. Because it was just like a flip of a dime. It just happened. It's like, oh. And when it happens, you're just like, well, that makes sense, actually.
Right. But for this scene, he's still definitely Team Mariah.
Yeah.
Shortly after this, also Shades is with them when the lawyer comes to get Mariah. And they actually detain Shades for because they think that he's a potential suspect for the shooting of Comanche and the guy whose name I already forgot.
Chief Douchebag.
Yep, Thomas.
Yeah.
Rittenhauer. There we go.
Creative last name.
Yeah,
I'll give him that. That's
sure.
a great last name. Yeah. Anyways.
So here we go. We're already here. Next scene, Shades and Mariah lose their lawyer. So he's actually in there with Shades. As
Gets
Shades,
a phone call. Comes in.
Don't say a word. And he says that the Shades walks out on the phone, comes back in no less than 20 seconds later.
Yeah.
So
I will not be representing Miss Mariah Dillard nor her friend here.
Yeah. Actually, at this point, he just says, I will no longer be representing Mr. Alvarez, and then leaves.
Yeah.
Leaving us and Shades to think that, did Mariah just cut him loose?
Yeah.
But we quickly find out what really happens.
I also love that even though it wasn't greatly, it was only a little bit, we see Shades stumble finally. Where he's like, wait, what? No, where are you going?
Yeah.
Like,
and Mitch is like, no, he's not coming back.
Yeah, he's done with you.
Yeah. Oh, man. So... Yeah, Misty. She recounts the shooting while interrogating Shades, and she does that cool Misty vision.
Right, and it's good to see that she's got it back.
Yeah,
right. She retained it.
Mm-hmm. That's got to be really, really useful in her line of work.
Right. Yeah. Was there ever any reference to something cool like that in the comics? I know the comics would probably overflourish it with like that's like a power of some sort, but did they ever? Do you know? Because I don't.
Out of the little bit of Misty Knight that I've read, all I do know is that she is a really good detective with really honed skills.
Sure.
Me, myself, I've never seen her use anything quite like that.
Okay. Just curious.
Not to say that she hasn't, but I just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a really cool attribute. You know? It really is.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a power, but it's more just like a really heightened skill. Mm-hmm. Anyways.
Yeah, so the next thing we get here is Bushmaster. He's talking to his uncle. He wants more Nightshade. And his uncle's trying to tell him, hey, this...
You don't need another hit, man.
Yeah, it's just not good for you, man. You're not seeing clearly. His goons are sent out. Well, actually, before... so Bushmaster wants to kill Mariah. This much we know at this point. But in the next scene we get here, his goons are sent out as Mariah... Tilda and Luke, they're outside and they're all getting in the car except for Luke, and Bushmaster's goons pull up, hop out with guns aimed at Mariah, and Luke stops them. He takes one of the goons and goes, well, what the hell are you doing? And the guy says, well, there's a bounty. This goon gives it pretty easily, actually. I mean,
he really does.
I know it's Luke Cage, but he spills like all the beans.
He really does. He's just like, here, I'll draw you a map. Here you go.
Yeah. So this is what we're doing here. So when we sat down, I actually had a lemon tea. The boss was really nice with that. It was tasty. And there was also croissants as well. With the cheese platter, and then Mr. Bushmaster, he said, so here's the plan, gang. What I want to do is I want you all to kill Mariah, Tilda, Luke Cage, and everybody that Luke Cage loves, and I will pay you $1 million if you do so.
It was actually $1 million for each head.
For each head, I'll pay $1 million a head if you do so. And yes, so that's...
Luke Cage should have been like 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a complicated head to kill.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not taking that one down.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. But yeah, so the goon tells Luke all of that.
Yep.
Besides the lemon tea and the croissant part, I made that part up myself.
Luke Cage knocks him out, walks away, starts thinking to himself, I could go for some lemon tea. I don't even like lemon tea. He made it sound delightful.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Next thing we get here is Shades. He's still being interrogated by Misty, and he tells her the story of how he got the nickname Shades. Mm-hmm. Pretty interesting story here. How when he was he and Comanche were kids, and he stole these pair of Top Gun aviators, and they were getting chased. Comanche literally took the fall because Comanche was the one that got caught. I guess in this instance he didn't roll over.
Yep.
And then he said he wore those shades for a year straight until they finally fell apart, and that's how he got the nickname.
Yeah.
That's often how nicknames are born.
Yeah.
But I mean, not by stealing necessarily, but
Yeah.
stuff
Just,
like that.
just crazy actions.
Right. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so he tells her that, and it's kind of interesting how he tells her this story. I mean, and Misty's, she's listening to him and all, and she's basically like, so, you need to really tell me what happened then with Comanche, since, you and he were boys and all that. And he kind of snaps out of that reminiscent stage, and he's like, well, no, I can't tell you anything. That's all I know. And then he quickly gets up, and, they got nothing on him, so he's free to go. So he also leaves.
Yeah.
Luke goes to his dad's church to try to warn him. His dad doesn't care. I do like the character of Reverend James here, but I gotta say, you're being pretty dense right about now.
He really is, and I understand. He's like the stubborn Southern father, and that's cool. And that was, that was almost tricky to say. I'm proud of myself. I didn't stumble that one, but because I could not say that fast. But try it out.
What am I saying?
The stubborn Southern father. It's too. Anyways, I'm just joking around, but it's like, dude, people are coming to kill you. They did so in front of a police station. The church isn't going to be much different for them, bruh. You need to calm down, Dad.
Yeah.
And I love the shit he says to Luke. Mm-hmm. Like, who do you think you're talking to? You're not grown. He said to a man literally a head taller than him.
Yeah. A head taller than him, and a man that is definitely grown.
Exactly. Like he's been through so much shit.
Right. So Dad doesn't really care, and Luke is reduced to just handing out the church flyers and all that.
It is so funny. There are very few things that have power over Luke, and that is one of the things. It's like, no, if you're going to protect me, you're doing it here. Right. Pass these flyers out. Okay, Dad. Hey, Luke Cage, aren't you the neighborhood hero? Yeah, here's a flyer. Here's your program.
Shades confronts Mariah at her burned down brownstone. And this is a very interesting scene here because every time they have a fight, of course it escalates, and then right when you think it's reached this tipping point, it cools down again, and then they make up.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's the pattern.
Yeah. That's kind of the pattern of a lot of abusive relationships, especially two-way abusive relationships.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is definitely no different. But there's a lot of truth there's a lot of truth being spoken here, especially from Shades. And I can also understand Mariah's frustration as well, because when the brownstone's being burned down, Shades was nowhere to be found.
Right. Both characters represent their points really well.
They do.
And you understand them both.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Shades just he's able to talk some sense into her as much as he can at this time, and telling her that she needs to be the queen that Harlem needs her to be, and that that gangsters don't let this type of shit put them down, but they need to keep moving forward. And so he gives her a good pep talk, and she snaps out of it. Nandi and Misty visit Bushmaster, and this is a pretty cool encounter, because from Bushmaster he's got to be thinking what are the chances that two of the hottest detectives in New York come try to bust me? It's not going to work, but it's nice to see the both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they visit Bushmaster in hopes to find something, some kind of evidence or something to bring him down because he's in Harlem's paradise.
Yeah.
But they don't have anything on him. Like there's nothing that they have on him. No evidence.
Nope.
Yep. And so those are fireworks if you can hear them.
Yeah. Our patriotic background music we didn't want.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Bushmaster, he's not really budging at all. But as she leaves, he begins to show more signs of withdrawal symptoms from the nightshade use. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and by the way, the lawyer works for Bushmaster now. If we didn't,
Actually, I was just about to bring that up. Yeah, like even the lawyer notices and goes like, "Are you okay?" Mm-hmm. Yeah, like stops lawyering for a second and just goes like, "Dude, what?"
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like if your client is dead, then you don't get paid. So,
also, yes. Yeah. And you as a lawyer know better than anyone that you have no legal right to that money no more.
Absolutely. So the next scene I get here, I thought was pretty funny. And this is the part when Mariah comes to visit Tilda because Tilda's gone back to her shop, Mother's Touch, and Mariah comes in to visit her, and Tilda's like, "How did you get in here?" And I have written down, she literally walked through the front door, Tilda.
Right? Yeah. Like, are you kidding me?
Like there was no kind of secret thing that she used. She literally, we see her use the door, open it, and come in.
Like
Tilda.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what your plan here was, Tilda.
Mariah might as well have responded, Your open sign is on."
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I what else do I need?
Yeah. Oh man. The uncle is still trying to talk some sense in the Bushmaster. Let me rephrase that. I read the sentence wrong. What I have written down here directly is Uncle is still trying to talk sense into Jack the Bushmaster. This is the scene, one of the scenes where like he's shirtless and like the guy's super jacked.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I was confused for a second, like, oh, you gave him a different name. You are now Jack, character.
Yeah, your name is now jacked. Like your name is the meaning of being jacked. Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of a
Yep.
that'd be a bizarre one.
Yeah.
But no, Bushmaster still isn't having it, man. Like he's still so hell bent and focused on getting the nightshade that he's not really seeing clearly.
Yeah.
And it's interesting seeing the character in this type position, because in beginning days when we see him with the nightshade, we see him use it as this enhancement.
Yeah.
We don't really know what his base form is or what he needs to take to like remain in that Super Saiyan type stage. But now we know that he's got that Goku viral heart disease, basically.
Yeah.
And he's fading. He doesn't really have a viral heart disease, but he's fading.
That does bring up a question, though. And you know what? I'm glad I thought about this. So, let's look more deeply into the character just for a second. Mm-hmm. Bushmaster has been relying on this so hard. Now, can we safely assume it's because of Luke Cage?
I would say so.
Let me ask you this. Do you think he would have still taken it had Luke Cage never been a factor?
Not so vehemently, I don't think so. Just because, we see him take it after he gets shot early on, or at the end of episode 1.
Right.
He takes it in episode 2 to recover from the gunshot wounds or whatever. Even then, they don't penetrate him per se.
Right. They just he's bullet resistant.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say something similar actually because, and I like the way you put it, like not so vehemently, not so adamantly, not taking it to the point of like self-destruction like he is now.
Right.
It's like, no, I like the power. I like the strength I get from this, obviously. Mm-hmm. And you're right, that's evidence talking about episode 1, yeah. But no, I was just kind of curious about that. Like, okay, what is your arch nemesis drawing out of you type thing? But,
right.
Looking into the character more.
Yeah.
Let's progress. Let's keep going.
A bunch of Bushmaster goons interrupt the baptismal service, and
dick moves, guys.
Yeah.
The last time.
Good thing for this guy, he was still saved.
Oh gosh. gosh.
You guys get it because Luke Cage didn't let the guy get shot.
They got it.
You know,
they got it.
Because like if he got shot, he would have died. But instead, Luke Cage saved him.
All right, buddy. So. It's okay. That was better than my joke. My joke was horrible. The last time I heard gunshots during the phrase "in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost" was Boondock Saints. See, it's not even really a joke. It's just a statement. You know? So yeah, I like yours better than mine.
Okay, we apologize for both of those jokes or attempts.
I do not.
Luke quickly and easily dispatches of the goons. I don't think anyone in the church got shot. That would definitely be a touchy thing with recent events and all that. They did a good job not giving too much attention to it. Right, yeah.
They kind of distracted us more so with, Luke Cage dad giving the beat down on a thug. Like, Dad, don't, stop it. It's cool. He shot you.
Like, I'm bulletproof, Dad. Yeah.
I don't care. You don't shoot my son.
Yeah. that was still pretty good.
Yeah. I liked that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was a good scene. And so what happens next is that the Misty and Nandi, they show up at Mother's Touch. That's where both Mariah and Tilda are at. And right as they get there, the goons show up and they start attacking them too.
Dun, dun, dun.
And so now it's a pretty big shootout going on here. And I was thinking, like, of course, like, as viewers of shows like this, we're numb to, like, these shootouts. But I was thinking, especially if you're Tilda, you're probably freaking the hell out right now. Because, like, there's a bunch of bullets flying back and forth. You can assume that the goons on the outside have their bigger numbers and more firepower.
Yep. And
you just have, like, 2 officers on the inside with you.
Yep.
And, like, they want everyone inside their dead.
Yep. I mean, at this point, it is not impossible for Tilda to be thinking to herself, I regret letting that mom of mine in this house at all.
Yeah.
Like, the hell with that.
Yeah. Luke shows up and helps out. And they're able to take down the rest of the goons. And that's just standing outside. They're thinking, well, this shit is not going to let up. We got to find a safe haven for all these people to go to. And so this time where Luke tells Misty to call Danny, he's going to cash in the favor.
Yeah. Danny boy.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I have written down here, I really love Mariah in this episode. Spoiler alert, I really like her in the next 2 episodes as well.
Oh, yeah. Her shit gets good.
It does,
like, dark and great. I love it. And
another small side note was that I really liked the bullet ricochet we see here. Because, oddly enough, we really didn't see a lot of that in the first season, but we see a lot more of that in this season.
Yeah. I didn't like it the first time, honestly.
No?
No, because it was like... All right, let me do this.
Oh, well, that's because he aimed it, yeah.
Right, yeah. Like, that bothered me, where he's just kind of like, and tit bounce, boom,
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, Luke. Let's act like you had time to practice that.
As much as you get shot, maybe he did.
I mean, maybe, maybe in between he's like, man, I'm kind of bored. Let me bounce a pecs real quick. Boom. Oh, there's an idea here.
Yeah. But in this one, like, there was a lot of that natural bullet ricochet where, like, they would shoot him and they would just bounce off of him and back at them.
Yeah.
And that was pretty fun to see.
That is super useful.
Yeah, it is.
Natural counter,
Yep.
Yeah.
Moving on, episode 209 is called For Pete's Sake.
Yeah, I forgot that title, yeah.
This was directed by Clark Johnson. It starts off with... Luke, Misty, Reverend James, Tilda, and Mariah, aka like the second worst Suicide Squad ever.
Second worst, damn, that's saying something.
Yeah. No, I think I still got to give like the title of the worst Suicide Squad ever to Krillin, Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu. They
shit. That's a good one.
A little Dragon Ball Z reference for you guys.
I love it. I do. I mean, that's like, what, the second, third one tonight? Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
We referenced.
said-
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
You're right.
Good stuff.
We gotta do something for episode 210 now.
I know, right? We'll think of something. We'll
Yeah.
get there. Yeah.
Yeah. So they sneak into Rand Industries. I guess somehow Luke knows. How does he know the passcode to get in?
Oh no! At this point, they had already contacted Danny.
And he gave them the passcode to get in.
Right,
Okay.
like he gave them the information necessary. I'm pretty sure that's the case here. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because I know that Misty was the one that made the phone call. So I'm not sure why.
yeah. Was there a passcode necessary? Because it was still like under construction. Like it was in the final
Right.
stages, still being prepped.
Well,
yeah.
Luke was on the outside pressing buttons.
Oh,
and then
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then they said, "Why don't you just punch it?" And he goes, "Well, I have the passcode."
Good answer.
Yeah.
Like no,
Yeah.
this doesn't require brute force.
Right. For once.
Yep.
They have a prayer circle. That was Reverend's idea, if you couldn't guess. Bushmaster is raiding Mother's Touch, and he's looking for Nightshade, and he's going crazy now. Like
Yeah.
he's really throwing a fit.
Showing us that you can get addicted to Nightshade.
Yeah, that you can. And, at this point, it's hard to. I'm sure that it is like a. I think it's more of a physical addiction than it is like a chemical imbalance.
Right. Yeah.
Because of the feeling that it gives you for one thing, and also because he kind of needs that at this point if he's gonna
stand any chance against Luke again,
Right,
yeah. Because I'm trying to remember. Did they already? Yeah, they already had second fight on the bridge here at this point. So
and he was
Yeah.
significantly weaker.
we see
Yeah.
his forehead get busted open.
Right.
You know, so
yeah.
yeah.
And then he pulls out that 1980s bad guy wrestler.
I know, right? Dust blow, super effect.
Yeah, that paralyzing agent bullshit.
Yeah,
Yep. I'm
it was, but whatever.
No, I mean I thought it was a cool touch. I'm just calling it bullshit.
Yeah.
just for argument's sake. No, so the next thing we get here is Bushmaster. He raises the bounty to $3 million per head now, because he really needs that damn Nightshade. And so I'm assuming that he told the guys, but bring Tilda back alive,
I don't know, man.
because I can see it now. One of the goons brings back Tilda's head. Look, boss, I got her. What? Where's the Nightshade? What? You didn't say anything about Nightshade. You said.
Sir, that's not on the contract. You said $3 million ahead. Where's my cash? I'm holding my ticket for that cash, sir.
I'm pretty sure that guy gets Tilda's servant head shoved up his ass.
Oh, God. Bushmaster gets graphic with this.
Yes, he does. Oh, shit. Well, patching up the Reverend, I noticed that Tilda quoted Thor 1.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What'd she say? Hit me.
So I guess just to paint the scene here, while the Reverend and Tilda are talking, the Reverend is astounded at the techniques and the material that Tilda uses.
She even used
to
Nightshade
hit him.
on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a small amount.
Right.
And he goes, "Man, this is really something else here." And Tilda goes, "Yeah, well, we know what they say. Magic is the science that we haven't figured out yet." And that's a direct line used by Natalie Portman and Thor 1. So I thought that was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
the scene where they're in front of the trailer,
Yep.
just chilling. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Good call. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Didn't think about that.
Mariah refuses to tell or to give a legit confession to Misty or any police officers about Bushmaster, because she knows that. Because at this point, all they need to legally arrest Bushmaster is a confession from Mariah, just a testimony, not confession, just a testimony from Mariah about the things that he's done, and they can bring him in on several charges of arson, manslaughter, murder,
Attempted
assault,
murder, yeah,
all kinds
of shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he's going to get locked away forever if she would just admit to it. If she would just testify to it, but she won't, because she knows that then she would be right behind him.
Yeah. The dominoes would fall into place.
Absolutely. But eventually she goes, "Okay, look, I'll testify if you give me complete immunity."
That was a ballsy move.
It was, yeah. And of course, Misty says no. Luke says, maybe. We can, maybe we can do this. And Misty's really not feeling that at all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Misty was acting more on the idea of, oh, hell no, for the things you've done. And Luke, I think, was acting more on like a gambler's idea. Like thinking, wishing, hoping that we can get away with setting this up and hoping she forgot about something else.
Right.
It's like, okay, that's not a plan. That's, let's hope she messes up.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true, but, there's like, they're kind of trapped in a corner. They're kind of backed into a corner because
I mean, they're between a couple of hard places right now. It's like, well, we got shit A and shit B. Which shit you want?
Exactly. Yeah. Luke even says like we have no good options here.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. All the prices suck.
Yeah.
That was cool. I like that line. Yeah.
Right. And then she even tried the whole thing where we can have you testify, Luke, and he was like, "Look, I'm an ex-con vigilante and a black man in the hoodie. Like, there's no way." There's no way that my testimony counts for shit.
And it's so sad. And he's just like, oh, damn you, justice system.
And I love how Misty, she didn't even try to defend it. She was like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
You got
she was
me.
like, as a matter of fact, you're right.
Yep, you got me there, Luke. We're going with your plan. Oh, man. Luke talks with his dad over hot chocolate, and his dad brings up Titanic again. His dad must really like that movie.
Yeah, for real. And his dad must have some serious beef with Daggum Rose, man. You shouldn't have screwed up, girl.
He seems like the type of person that, like, if he saw that movie in theater, he probably stood up and he probably yelled at the screen, pointing at Rose.
You give him room on that door. Yeah.
The ushers in there like, sir, you have to calm down.
No, I don't. You just gotta put him on the door.
You see how big that goddamn door is? There's enough room for both of them on that door.
Those are French doors. They're wide.
Mythbusters approved that door has enough buoyancy for both of them.
Wait, was there really a Mythbuster? Oh my gosh. I love it. I really do.
Oh, shit.
Hot damn, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
And then I love how Luke, like, acts it up like that was even a thing from their childhood. Like, you gotta let that go, man.
No, I think Reverend James is taking that to his grave.
He really is. Yeah. It's on the tombstone, man. I love the Lord and I hate Rose.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Oh, man.
I wonder how that actress feels about all that, Like,
Kate.
Yeah.
Fill in the blank.
I don't remember. Whatever. But it's like, were you aware that there was room for him on the door? Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah. The uncle says that Bushmaster's body is falling apart. Next will be his mind and then his soul. I think those are pretty deep words there that you should probably adhere to for sure.
Yeah, agreed.
Because Bushmaster, he's looking for other ways now. If he can get the Nightshade, he's trying to find a way.
He's about to Breaking Bad it, man. He's about to nah, man. Let's just make our own. Mm-hmm. It's cool.
Yeah.
Go get Jesse Pinkman.
Right.
Yeah.
It can only grow in like certain Jamaican soil. So
the Blue Mountains is the reference made a lot. Yeah.
90 actually goes to Bushmaster to cash in on the bounty for Mariah. And I was like, son of a bitch, 90.
I know, right?
Your face turn did not last long.
Exactly. Yeah.
So she walks into Harlem's Paradise, and she talks to Bushmaster and basically gives up the location of Mariah in exchange for the money. Mm-hmm. And surprisingly, it works out. They don't kill her. Spoiler alert.
I know, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, whenever we first see it, it's like, what the shit are you doing here, girl? And like, they're all holding up guns. Like, there's like 5 of them just like, girl, I was just playing with this. It'll blow you up.
Yeah. Yeah. We also can't forget to mention the little mini Justin Hammer explosives that they have also.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Notice this Justin Hammer technology is actually the shit.
Yeah. Which I believe it is, because
Right, yeah.
I think that, for Iron Man 2...
They downplayed it.
For Iron Man 2, most of his stuff worked really well. It was the ex-wife that was shitty.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a shitty ex-wife.
It really... Oh, my gosh.
The ex-wife, guys, for those of you who don't remember, that's the missile that Rhodey used.
Yeah.
The one that Justin Hammer really talked up.
Yeah.
The one that's supposed to be just the shit.
It was like the size of a fat pen, and it didn't do shit.
Didn't do a damn thing. Yeah. But no, the rest of his stuff, worked really well. Besides his makeshift Iron Man suits at the beginning, those did not work well.
Yeah, no, those were shit. Yeah. But that one poor soldier.
Yeah. Got his torso turned around. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Doctor Strange did not want to work on that guy. That's another Easter egg.
That's true. That's true, yeah.
Anyways, so Nandi actually goes to cash in on that money for the location of Mariah. Next thing we get here is that after a brief and seemingly pleasant talk, Mariah steals the Reverend's phone. So yeah, I mean, it just goes to show that like this character becomes more and more irredeemable as the episodes go on.
Yeah, not a huge surprise, but
No.
And one thing that intrigued me, was the great conversation we have first, and that was really good and very like grounding.
It was, yeah.
And then she steals the phone, and then the camera goes to a very specific angle, looking straight at the Reverend and watching his facial patterns. And I was trying to interpret those, like, did he let her take the phone type thing? But that's probably me thinking too much into it. He was more just like thinking about the situation, about like who she really is type thing. What do you think?
I think it's the latter. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, because even thinking from the Reverend's standpoint, I don't know what he would think the benefit would be of letting her steal his phone.
Yeah. No, like I said, I think too much into it. Yeah.
But no, so she steals his phone and she tries to call Shades. Shades is having a drink, man. He sees the phone ringing.
He's having some Jamaican drinks.
Yeah.
Important.
Yeah, very much so.
What's the name of that Jamaican beer again? Red something? Red Tap? I don't remember, but it's like a very distinctive Jamaica only beer.
Yeah. It's called Jamaican beer. And
okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, Shades does not answer the phone. I mean, probably because it doesn't recognize the number, but
probably, but I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to speculate too much on that.
It's hard to speculate on that. It's hard to tell why exactly he doesn't, but he doesn't answer the phone. At this point, we get one of the best moments of this episode where...
Oh my god.
Yeah, where Tilda confronts Mariah. Tilda originally spoke to Luke, and Luke told Tilda basically everything that he knows about Mariah. And it's at this point where Tilda confronts Mariah, and they have one hell of a conversation.
They really do, and I had to watch this one twice, man. This conversation alone was anchor for a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, it was money. Like it was great. It was so great. And there's a couple of truth bombs that are dropped in here, man.
A couple, shoot, there are a couple of truth warheads dropped in this shit, man. Like, dadgum.
So Mariah tells Tilda that the good doctor was not her father.
Nope.
That Mariah was actually just the doctor's beard.
Yeah.
So the doctor was gay that Mariah had gotten married to. But they both gotten something out of the equation here. So even though her husband was gay, his family frowned upon that. So seeing him getting married was like a sign of good faith to his family. Meanwhile,
she got to ride that money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She got to go straight to that money that this guy had. And according to her, he actually was a really good guy. That part was true.
Yeah. The idea of the Dillard symbolism mattered.
Yeah,
and
she got money, and she also got to get away from that name. She got to keep his name alive, even. So yeah, and then to take it even further, she tells Tilda that she killed Cornell because I killed him, And
she
then,
got graphic with it too. She told her how it went down.
Oh,
with, like,
yeah.
the bottle and the window. Yeah.
that she did. And she talks about good old Uncle Pete. Good old Uncle Pete.
This was some of the best part. Like, holy shit. Yeah.
Right. And I love the way that they led into it because, like, it wasn't telegraphed. You know what I mean? Like, it was a story falling together perfectly, but it wasn't like the end. Like, so basically, she starts off with this Uncle Pete story, saying that, you know, her talking about her lineage, her family. Then she gets to Uncle Pete, and she goes, you know, he used to sneak into my bedroom, and you know, he used to. Then he basically he raped me, and then how he was so charismatic. You know, he could suck the oxygen from a room as soon as he enters. He was so electrifying. People loved them. Was so charismatic, and
and I love how they never blatantly said it. Like he would just sneak into my room at night, and then he's like, she would trail off and keep coming back into it. Like, I never wanted it.
Yeah,
it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It was
really
great, heavy stuff.
It was, yeah. And I mean, like, it was great when we got this in season 1, but it's also great here too.
Yeah.
And then that's when she drops the truth bomb on Tilda, saying that basically Uncle Pete's the dad.
Yeah.
Uncle Daddy.
Oh gosh. We're getting into some like Game of Thrones shit here.
Basically.
Uncle Daddy. Oh no.
Yeah. Another thing I like here also is when she's telling the story about how she would get picked on and all that as a kid, how Uncle Pete, he would be the one to, you know, kind of help her out and all this and that, and how people would make fun of Mariah because she was darker than the other kids and they called her Black Mariah. I thought that was really cool because that's actually the name of the comic character in the comics.
Right.
It's Black Mariah. So that was a really cool callback. But yeah, after this, this is when she really goes into detail recounting killing Cornell.
Yeah.
And she says exactly how it went down. She said Cornell, it comes down to Cornell really touching that sensitive nerve that should have never been touched.
I mean, and the thing I love about this is it was actually super well thought out. Look at Cornell's character, just as a person. He personified and relived Uncle Pete, dude. He dressed like him. He acted like him. I mean, shit, you could tell that he was all about Uncle Pete, and he never saw that dark side of Pete, whereas she lived that dark side, you know?
Yeah, and it's all about that matter of perception, man. Like how, like, you and I could know the same person, but, you know, never spend time with all three of us together, you know? And, like, you could have just, like, the greatest impression of this person. How he's just such a great guy, and he does this and that for you. But my perception of the guy can be, like, he's a shitbag.
Right.
And this third-party guy, like, he's just the worst. I don't know what you see, you know, but... And it's kind of the same thing here because, like, with Uncle Pete, Cornell just idolized him.
The worst part, though, is that they were family. It was an issue they dealt with all the time. Yeah.
And you know, Mariah and Cornell, you know, they were pretty close coming up. And the fact that she couldn't even confide in him and Cornell about it had to have been the worst, too. And then on top of that, with him putting that on her, telling her that she wanted it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah,
that was the boiling point. That was the tipping point. But no, this was a great scene.
It really was. There was a lot of meat here.
Oh yeah, there was a lot.
Yeah.
And then she ends the whole thing with saying, you know, and every time I look in your face, Tilda, I see Uncle Pete. That's why I never loved you. And then she just walks the fuck away.
Yeah, like. Holy shit. Yeah. She's got bigger balls than a lot of men I know. You know, like hot damn.
That was rough.
Like, and I've tried, but I just never could get around. I can't love you. I don't love you, you know? And oh my gosh. And Tilda's reaction was perfect for this scene too. It really was. Just broken and
absolutely, because there's nothing that you can say as a rebuttal. You know, there's nothing.
Right. At that point, what would make sense? Right. Not a thing.
I mean, at that point, she was shocked, rightfully so, and she was broken, like you said, and she just became an emotional wreck.
She did eventually say some good shit, like claiming you're a monster. And
that she was walking away,
yeah. I mean...
But, I mean, I'm sure that Mariah heard it, but she did not care.
No, she didn't care. She probably honestly felt at peace, knowing she finally said everything.
Got that off her chest, yeah. But, you know, I mean, to be honest, a couple episodes ago, Tilda said to Mariah, like, you need to be honest with me about everything from here on forward, or else I'm out of here. Hey, Mariah was honest.
I mean, shoot, Tilda's probably out of there anyways, but yeah. I mean, shit, dude, that scene was so dark and heavy. I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that shit.
That was great.
As messed up as it was. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, there it goes. I wanted it. I never wanted it. Every time I look in your face, I see Pete. Yep. Misty gives Mariah the immunization papers.
She walked straight from scene A of that heavy shit, walked into this one, no downtime. Just
unfazed.
She just walked out of there like, I'm ready for business.
Yeah.
Where's my immunity?
Right.
Where's this at, bitch?
Yes.
Exactly.
It was great. And so she gets her immunization papers and she just she goes ahead and signs. And then as soon as she signs, Misty calls the police chief, and they go and raid Harlem's Paradise looking for Bushmaster. No one's there.
They were triggered, ready to go, man. That did not seem like it took a long time. Yeah.
I mean that's the thing. Like this is a real thought out, put together plan.
Yeah,
you know, and had freaking Nandi not ruined it, it would have worked.
Yeah, freaking Nandi, man.
Yeah, it would have worked had it not been for her.
You and your weird name.
Yeah, that is a weird name. So is Rittenheimer Bergenhauer, or whatever the captain's name was.
What? You know what that reminds me of? A Pathicathy.
I'm on a road tonight.
You are, man. You're Englishing hard. Yeah. Shit.
Oh, shit. I can't even repeat that name. Anyways.
Me neither. I don't remember.
So they go to raid Harlem's Paradise. No one is there. So they were already given the heads up by 90. So yeah, they're long gone. But they are heading somewhere.
Yep.
Next thing we get here is Bushmaster. He pulls up in front of the Rand Industries building with all the goons and all the Hammer Tech weaponry. And he says that he only wants Mariah. He'll let everybody else go. He'll let everybody else live. He only wants Mariah. But if he has to go in there, everybody's dying.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a way to create a turncoat, that's it.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Bushmaster knew.
Yeah. And they thought about it and they contemplated it up there. But no, Luke being Luke, man, he's always going to be the good guy. And he even says as much. And,
yeah. I love that they flipped it. He even turns to her and goes, if you were in my shoes, what would you do? Oh, I would have turned your ass over to the dogs immediately.
Yeah, as soon as they barked. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know. Why would you ask her that, Luke? Like, that wouldn't make you feel any better about the situation.
No, but I can imagine it. It's like reassurance, you know? Whenever you decide to do the right thing and you know it's your decision, it's hard for other people at that point to deter you, you know?
Yeah,
especially if what you know you're doing is the right thing.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean,
plus his dad is in the room.
I say it's arguable. Did Luke do the right thing?
Oh no, trust me. I would have said, nah, she's a criminal. I'm not defending that.
Right.
Go out. You know, Frank Castle would have been like, guys, I would have ended this 2 episodes into the season.
I mean, like, the way I see it, it's like, I mean, like, yeah, sure, it's like sending a lamb to the slaughter, but it's an evil ass lamb.
Exactly,
and
yeah.
On top of that, like, as soon as you see Bushmaster put down Mariah, Misty's right there. That's a detective. You can then just go ahead and put the cuffs on Bushmaster. Like, you're done.
You thought more into it than I did, but yeah, no. Game over. Yeah.
And then that way, like, both of these poisons are gone.
Yeah.
You know? But
you know what? We're gonna write a letter to Netflix, man. We're gonna tell them, nah, you guys effed up this shit.
No, but you know, Luke is definitely the type that wouldn't let that happen.
Right.
Even if it's Mariah of all people.
Even if his punches have probably killed people in the past, he nope. He just said, "Nah, I'm not gonna be responsible for that death." He's Batmaning it.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, so Luke, he brings the fight to Bushmaster outside. He beats up several of the Bushmaster goons, and then proceeds to beat up Bushmaster.
First, he does a smart thing, and he throws a desk at them.
He does,
and that one instinctively, like, all of a sudden, freaking
with a rocket launcher,
vertical, and said, "Oh, let me blow up a desk."
Yeah, except he didn't even hit the desk.
He didn't even hit it. He way overshot it, but it would have been hilarious to see that desk blow up, though. Just like, oh shit, doom. My reflexes are great, but I wasted that missile. That was probably like 500 G, you know?
Yeah. So Luke, he puts the beat down on Bushmaster pretty damn good, man. Like, there's not a whole lot of room for argument here.
Bushmaster even gets that 80s dust hand ready to begin, and,
he does.
And Luke is just like, hell nah.
Yeah, get that shit out of here.
Get that out of here. We don't got time for that right now.
Yeah. That bullshit out of here. If Luke was smart, he would have wore like one of those surgical masks or something.
Exactly, yeah. Just like, yeah. Haha. No sand in my face.
Right.
Yeah.
Didn't see this coming, did you?
He throws it in the eyes. Don't worry, it gets in the body anyways.
Right. So there was one thing I do have a question about. So when Bushmaster was trying to cut Luke, we see it go across the skin, doesn't do anything.
Right.
And then he's going for the eye. Yeah. Would that have done anything?
I mean, remember season 1 of Jessica Jones? They go through the eye. Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's way into the body.
That's true.
But I'm trying to think of the eye itself. Because they said in Luke Cage season 1 that even his internal organs had that hard layering too. So, it depends who wrote the season.
It does. That it does. I guess Bushmaster thought that maybe this will do something.
I mean, it's he would have at least popped out that eyeball, you know. Even if he didn't cut it open, he would have been like, well, you're not keeping this shit.
But the cord that connects to the eyeball would maybe keep it dangling.
That would have been gross to see. That would have been like, oh, I didn't want to see the side of Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Yep. Food for thought, people. Food for thought.
Actually, you know what? Keep reading.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
Next thing we get here is Reverend James and Luke. They have a talk here after everything's said and done. Bushmaster's arrested, by the way. He tells Luke that to be better than him, which is a pretty common theme among superheroes and whatnot. That was kind of the theme of a lot of things. It's the theme of Logan. Don't be what they made you. It's the theme of a lot of superhero, type material. But it sounds like the Reverend is actually going back to Georgia. I think he said enough of this shit. Mm-hmm. And at first he asked Luke to go with them. Luke says no, he's going to finish business. And then that's when Reverend James says, well, you definitely need to finish your unfinished business and, be better than me and all that good stuff. I thought it was there was an interesting transition that they have here with the Reverend and Luke. Like, I really enjoyed their chemistry here in this scene, and I really enjoyed the blossoming for the relationship of these characters.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a little awkward how we got here.
Right.
These two.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The whole setup up to this point has been like, oh wow, we're really using whatever we can.
It's because it's like we discussed for part 2 of the Luke Cage podcast, where at first he comes off all hard and mean, and like he comes off as a character that we as an audience don't even know if we can trust. Mm-hmm. And then in part 2 it transitions to him being like a softer, kinder man that really seems to care more about his son. Mm-hmm. But Luke is still hard into him. And then here, like they're both just, all about each other. And I don't know, like we never really get any explanation as to what caused such a drastic change, especially in the Reverend.
Hey, drama brings people together, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they've definitely been through some funky trauma at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I still thought it was a great scene, but it was just an interesting transition.
Yeah.
To see how the character, transition from A to B.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Bushmaster, he's in the back of the squad car or squad van. Anyway, when he's telling the officers in there, or the SWAT team, he's telling them an intriguing story of someone named Nanny. Before he breaks free, and essentially the story of Nanny, the way that Bushmaster puts it, was basically one that he was the breaker of chains, but for Jamaicans instead of for Daenerys Stormborn.
Yeah, I think that's the second reference made tonight. Yeah,
Game of Thrones. Yep. Oh yeah, we did about the Uncle Daddy. Yeah.
Man, we're crossing some stitches today, man. We still gotta make another Dragon Ball one.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he actually has one of those Justin Hammer explosive devices in his hand. He lets that Joker go. It blows up.
That was a ballsy move.
It was super ballsy.
Part. Yeah.
I mean, because if you're him, you got to be thinking like, "Well, I'll survive this."
All right, Nightshade, come on, give me some love, Nightshade. Yeah.
I mean, I think I at least would have thrown it to the other side.
Right. Yeah. Just like at that point, like, nope. Put that like inside the Kevlar or some shit, just like right along the neckline. But I don't know, man.
Yeah,
he might not have had that much reaction.
But
he activated that hammer grenade.
He did, and he breaks free. An injured Bushmaster convinces Tilda to get him more Nightshade, and then she complies. Thankfully, Silas, the right hand man, he's like, "Look. If you don't give him what he needs, then you're gonna die."
Yeah, we needed that.
Because
this
otherwise
would not have made much sense.
It would have been weak sauce otherwise.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you tried to burn me in my home. Right. Screw you.
I mean, even after that threat, it still felt like Tilda is helping him for all the wrong reasons.
Right. I mean, I don't know what they're going for here. I'm hoping there's more in the last 3 episodes. But
maybe she has a thing for like bulletproof men.
I think because she even in the police station, there's a strange comment made a couple of scenes back ago, maybe even last episode, where she goes to Luke and says, "You should have 3rd-degree burns."
Right.
Oh, I don't. Oh, I bet acid could do it. And she's like fascinated with it. Yeah. It's like, okay, we're kind of seeing more of the Nightshade comic character more so than
except there's no werewolves.
Oh, yeah, true. She's gonna... Who knows, man? Bushmaster might become Werewolf Master. Yeah. That would be a weird-ass stretch.
It would be. The last scene of the episode here is Shades. He goes and he gets Mariah, and he shows her that he has Bushmaster's uncle in the trunk. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep. That is where 209 ends. And then the last episode of the evening is 210. The main ingredient. For once, I really have like a strong indicator as to why they called an episode what they called it.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Some of these I kind of agree. It's like, oh, okay.
It's like I really have to think about the names for some of these episodes, but then for others, like this
the one long name we mentioned earlier, like if it ain't rough, it ain't right, or something like that. Yeah,
right?
Like, oh, okay.
We're talking about sex. What are we talking about here?
Exactly. Yeah. Like, oh, there's no sex scene in this one. Okay. Yeah.
The director is Andy Goddard.
Okay.
And this one picks up with.
Do you recognize any of these directors? Like any of them?
Not offhand.
Except for Lucy Liu. That's the only one I know.
Yeah. No, not offhand.
Okay.
Yeah. I have to go and see what some of these guys have done. Like, admittedly, I'm not as sharp with like my TV directors as I am movie directors.
Yeah, I mean, me neither. I mean, I recognize Ghostface, but that was about it, you know? But anyways.
I don't think he was a director in any of these episodes.
No, he wasn't. He was just in it.
Yeah. This has kind of what I think is a weird opening. I know what they're going for, but it comes off almost like a corny commercial that's about to introduce a product. It's Luke getting harassed by the citizens on the way to the barbershop.
The little girl was a weird touch.
Yeah. Like, all of it felt a little phony.
It felt really forced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what the hell are you guys trying to do? Be a YouTube sensation? You know?
That's what it seemed like. Like, it seemed really staged. Like, it was weird. It's hard to really pinpoint what was wrong with this scene.
It was just super off.
Yeah, something was definitely off about it. Yeah.
I mean, it would have been different if, like, one or two people, like, brought it up to him, like, hey, Luke, and like, seriously converse and not, like, bark at him, like, hey, you're not doing your job, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I think they would have had more effect had they gone for, like, the emotional aspect and used the little girl as, like, the emotional tie-off. Yeah. But rather they used it for, like, a comical kick in the pants. Like,
basically,
yeah.
And basically, they're all upset because there's this Bushmaster drug out there now that's really messing with people.
Mm.
And
it's the same drug, they just renamed it.
Basically,
exactly.
Yeah. And I guess we didn't even mention like the
What's that? What did we not mention?
Hang on. I'm trying to get my hand right here.
I know
there was like like this this party earlier that has this Bushmaster drug. Yeah. That was an interesting touch, I thought.
Yeah. I guess they needed something more anchoring rather than one comment from a random civilian trying to bring them back around to like the original problem, you know?
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It was still a little weak. The opener for this episode was like, yeah. You could tell they had one thing in mind.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. But once they finally get to the barbershop, that's when Danny shows up. Yep, we get Danny Rand.
Yeah. Best bros kicking ass.
He says he wants to help Luke find Bushmaster.
This and one other thing we haven't crossed yet was something that we all knew we were going to see, but I especially wanted to see. You know, like you best give me my heroes for hire, my kick-ass duo.
Yeah,
and give them some kick-ass music to do it to with.
Hell yeah,
I did that on prep as whatever. Anyways,
that same dickbag lawyer, he comes back to Mariah. Basically, once he finds out that she has her money back, like all her $359 million. I don't remember the rest of the number. Don't worry.
Yeah. Too much money.
Right.
Yeah.
But he comes back once he realizes that she has her money. He realizes it before she does. But basically, because Piranha signed over the accounts to Bushmaster, he did it under duress, meaning that he did it under threat or fear of bodily harm.
Right.
Therefore, it doesn't count.
Right.
So all of that was reversed, and the money was given back to Mariah.
I wonder what the mini backstory there is. Like, did he go back to lawyer headquarters and they were like, wait a minute, sir, we're getting interception. The contract's nullified. Go back to Mariah. You know, go get our money, Big Ben.
I think probably on a more procedural account would be, since they got the okay to go ahead and raid Harlem's Paradise looking for Bushmaster, he became a criminal, in which case they run a background and then they see that, no, this was done under duress.
I mean, you can legitimize it, but my way was more fun.
I'll give you that. The chief and Misty, they question Officer Bailey about Nandi. There was a lot of names in that sentence.
It really was. Well done. Because, Nandi, we know she went turncoat. Right. They're trying to piece it together. But neither party, us as an audience or these characters, have seen Nandi in quite some time. True. And dadgum Bailey, man.
Is he like the most clueless motherfucker you've ever seen?
I know, right?
Like, he just has no clue what's going on ever.
Like, he's just sitting there trying to eat his weak breakfast, and all of a sudden she comes in like, hey, where the hell's your partner? Well, I don't know. I always beat her here.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, don't give me that weak shit.
Like, this guy, like, he's never, like, I don't know, something's off about this guy. Like, are you the weakest officer in this department? Is it because you're the only white guy here?
He's not the only white officer, because we see that one in the baseball cap often.
Okay,
and I don't know why he's allowed to wear that baseball cap. I'm pretty sure there's regulations about that, but either way, he always looks like the disgruntled, tough old white vet. He was just like, I've been through too much of this shit. I know these cops, Yeah.
But Bailey, he seems like he has no idea what's going on.
Bailey looks like your white pushover dude in the classroom that everyone could rely on to just do all the work and all the group projects.
Right. Like, if this was South Park, he would be Butters. Like,
oh my gosh, he really would.
We got another reference in.
Where's the chalkboard at? We gotta tally that. We're breaking records tonight, fools. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh man, but yeah. So they questioned Bailey about the whereabouts of 90, and Bailey, his clueless ass, has no idea.
Yeah.
Danny and Luke, they go to Mother's Touch looking for Tilda, because they figured that he probably went for more nightshade to get more ingredients to heal himself.
Smart.
Very smart, but they don't find anyone there, obviously.
Nope.
But when they're there, Luke mentions Chronic, and to Luke's surprise and to my surprise, Danny knows about the Chronic.
He's all about that music, man.
Yeah. He knows about Dr. Dre. And I mean, the thing of it is, like, he's right. Like, the Chronic 2001 is definitely Dr. Dre's best work. Like, that shit is a classic album. Like, it's gonna be like the top 10 of all time. But anyways, I thought that was a pretty cool touch that Danny knows about Dr. Dre, specifically the Chronic 2001.
It makes me wonder if they actually had the actor himself listen to some of it before he came in for the filming. You know, like, yeah. I mean, I would hope.
Right. That'd be cool.
Would be even better. Oh, no, it's cool. I already know it. Let's go. I'm ready for this. This is going to be real.
Right. Oh, man. Luke and Danny go to Harlem's Paradise, and it's at this point where, like, you think that, like, this is going to be this huge fight scene, but it's not.
Yeah.
And also at this point, they still have Bushmaster's uncle upstairs in the private room area, and so
with Mariah and Shades.
Yeah, Mariah does a smart thing by, like, keeping Luke and Danny downstairs, really and truly, like, once again, not to spoil anything, but man, a lot of heartache and trouble could have been prevented had they just done something more here.
Exactly, yeah. I've never seen a hero go back and forth into someone's evil lair, which is what Harlem Paradise is. It is the, quote, evil lair of this world here, okay? One, so often and so willingly. Like, he can go there like it's a fast travel checkpoint,
right?
Okay? And then she's just like, oh, Luke's here. Well, what the shit? Let's go talk to him real quick.
Right.
Like, how do you get away with this so often?
I mean, what are they going to do to Luke?
Oh, they're not going to do shit to Luke, but why isn't Luke doing shit to them?
Oh, I guess because, like, from a legal standpoint, he has no ground.
Oh, well. Hey, Mariah, let's go talk in your office. Let's not.
Right.
I don't know, man. At that point, Luke one day is going to show up and be like, oh, no, I got no beef with you today. I just wanted a drink.
Yeah. Yeah. Luke and Luke and Danny don't have really any luck here. So there's nothing they can really do. They're looking for hints about Bushmaster, about some kind of leads. They don't get anything, but basically it's just a warning to, don't go looking for Bushmaster.
Right.
Leave it be, and we know how that happens.
Boom.
Also, at this point, it's also interesting to note that Mariah's immunity deal has been scrapped since she fled the scene at the end of the last episode when the shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
Her deal is now null and void.
When she went 1B Scarface, yeah.
Yep. And so the thing of it is, with me, it's like, so if the deal is null and void, then does the confession still stand?
She technically never confessed. Like, she spoke with them.
Yeah, but I think that was part of the confession, though, because they couldn't go raid Bushmaster's place until they had the confession or the testimony.
Yeah, but I mean, they never found anything at his place, so
No,
it kind of like nullified that too, I believe. Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, because there's nothing backing it up anymore.
Yeah.
The intricacies.
Right.
Yeah.
Misty and Bailey go after Nandi, who's at a little airport. After a short scuffle.
Freaking Nandi.
Yep. Freaking Nandi.
A short scuffle. Yeah, Misty put her ass down.
That she did. Like, you don't fight somebody who in your mind is your equal, but has a bionic arm. So even if Misty was your equal, she has a bionic arm.
Captain America on his shoulder. Yeah.
I guess in the MCU they did give Bucky the super soldier serum, so yeah. Oh man.
Anyways, but no, here Nandi was definitely not captain. No,
she was not.
No, her birthday was not today. She could not put that ass down.
She could not do this all day.
Exactly. Well said. Well said.
Oh man. Danny and Luke, they go visit Turk at a dispensary.
Friggin' Turk, man.
Freaking Turk, he's got to show up now.
I love it every time he's on screen.
Every time, like they can never kill off Turk now.
The two most popular characters in all the Marvel Netflix series, Claire and Turk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Claire and everything.
Apparently, Turk has gone straight now. He's just running this dispensary, making all kinds of money.
Yeah.
Which is the truth. Like a lot of these dispensaries do make pretty good money.
Yeah.
Luke does like some questionable police work here by breaking shit till he gets answers.
Yeah, well, I guess he's not a policeman still.
No, he's not. But
we haven't seen that flexible side of him yet, so it's
Right.
like, oh, this is a really good one. You see? Oops, you know.
I guess like the other questionable thing we've seen Luke do was way back early on in the season when he's trying to find information on Bushmaster, I believe.
Yeah.
Is when he wraps a weight bar around the guy doing bench press.
Yeah, that was mean.
That was
super
and
mean.
left him there.
Because, you know, as soon as he puts it down, he's just locking himself into place. So he's just like, shit, how am I lifting this now?
I mean, that and this is like an O shape wrapped around you. So, like, that's not even an option at this point.
So you're just kind of like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Can someone spot me?
Get the fire department? I don't know.
We've seen Misty do more questionable shit than Luke.
Yeah. But at least she shows like signs of, you know,
remorse
or regret. You know, Luke is like, oh, another day at the office.
My job is great.
I'm bulletproof and don't give a shit. But no, so Turk, he gives Luke and Danny information about some kind of weird night shade operation going on at another shady warehouse. Never trust a warehouse.
Never. Warehouse, docks,
dark alleys. Nope.
That's that bad shit.
Yep. Nothing good ever happens at these places. The best thing that you may see is a superhero showing up to stop the bad stuff from happening.
Exactly. But at that point, you showed up late to the actual event of the alley or the dock. Yeah.
The Heroes for Hire, they take down goons at a nightshade operation. This was great.
Yeah. Seventh Chamber playing in the background.
Yeah, man. I really enjoyed all this.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like if I had to be a Debbie Downer or a negative,
please,
or a negative Nandi, I would say that
Nandi.
You know, like Nandi, like the girl that just got arrested.
Oh, okay.
Jeez, Kevin.
See, that's me being a negative Nandi. You're saying, what's up?
I guess like if there's one thing I had to say about the scene that I didn't quite like is that I thought this was really cool, really well done, but man, maybe they need to, I don't know, something's not off, like it's too on. In other words, like it seemed a little...
it was too choreographed.
Yep, right. Seemed a little too choreographed, a little too...
I can see that, because these two friends who haven't fought with each other since Defenders, all of a sudden, fluidly, perfectly are in sync the whole time.
Right.
Like, they're both on the same adrenaline burst. Yeah.
There was that, and then there was also the fact that at times throughout this fight, it seemed like the gunmen were like, ready, wait for it, and now it's my go. And then,
True.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's to blame more for that, the choreographer there, or like the backstage actors, the gunmen, the hired thugs type thing. Like, okay,
I don't know. I mean, or it's on the choreographer that put this whole act together.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, you gotta admit, let's do the test. Let's compare it to Daredevil season 1 when we have the great hallway fight scene.
Yeah.
Where it's just freaking Matt going to town on some shit.
Right.
That did not look coerced or forced
No.
or choreographed at all. That was Matt putting the beat down on some fools, you know. I mean, he put that ass whooping on them. Here you're right. It did feel that way a little bit. Yeah.
It's like it was almost masked by the coolness of the action that was going on.
True. The idea of you're watching these two, who are of course iconic comic book duo, being a duo on screen again. You know, and then of course the music was great too. It fit the bill. So it's too much input.
Right. I do like how they kind of ended the fight with the patty cake. That was a lot of fun.
Is that an actual move there in the comic?
I don't know.
It should be. That's great. Yeah. That's up there with like the fastball special.
Yeah, it was a big ass shockwave that just knocked everybody on their ass. It was nice. And then after this, because the patty cake was really cool, but then we do something that I didn't think was as cool.
What's that?
It was when the guy, two guys come out with guns, and then one guy comes out with a rocket launcher aimed at Luke Cage and Danny. And then so the guy has the rocket launcher. It is aimed at Luke and Danny.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's finger's already on the trigger.
Yeah. Like, he could have blown at least Danny to shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we go to Danny and Luke, and they look at each other, say a few words, nod, and then he throws Danny at them, and then Danny lands and punches them out. I mean,
that part was definitely like, oh, you should have ended on the patty cake.
You should have been on the patty cake, yeah. I mean, it's fine and dandy, but it's also like, I literally expected Danny to get shot with that rocket. And to him just blow it up with the iron fist.
This guy was, he was sitting there at the rocket like, I'm gonna have better reflexes this time. I'm not gonna aim for no desk. Here comes Danny. Dude, I learned from my mistakes, Luke.
Yeah, I mean, because he could have definitely gotten Danny. He could have gotten both of them, honestly.
Yeah, Luke would have been okay.
Yeah, Luke would have most likely been fine.
Yeah. But Danny,
but also this, why would you bring a rocket launcher into this close proximity?
True, you're setting yourself up for some injuries, man.
Right, and the entire building, this is not going to be good. You did not think this thing through,
right?
Oh man, but no. So after this, they shut the operation down by setting the place on fire. They set the whole warehouse building on fire. They see the origin for the nightshade plant that's being used, and they make sure that whole thing burns up with it. Everything goes up in flames.
The person that they interrogated here around this scene was a lot like the dude outside the police station. He just gave up easy, man. I mean,
he did. Except I give this guy more props because he wasn't a goon. He was a botanist.
Are you sure? He might have just been a goon botanist.
I mean, he didn't have a gun on him, so I don't consider him a goon.
Well, I wouldn't want a gun on me if I'm taking care of my plants. I wouldn't think I need to shoot them. You better grow better.
But you're not a goon unless you have a gun on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the aspects of this TV show, yeah. I don't know. I mean,
because the guy that was actively threatening to kill Mariah and Luke and Tilda, that guy's an obvious goon, and he gave up information easily.
He did.
I don't mind if there's a scientist or somebody who obviously isn't putting up any kind of active fight, but then to give information is kind of what you expect, par for the course.
Okay, I'll give you that. I do remember this though. Remember season 1? Even the common goons, every time the police were in the scene, they were just like, man, I didn't see shit. You were the one doing this shit. I didn't see it. Yeah. Everybody was like, nah, I didn't see nothing.
Right.
Yeah. And it's so funny to see like the contrast. But anywho,
Mariah and crew marched the uncle to the restaurant.
This was oof.
Yeah, it's at this point where Sugar, like on the way to the restaurant, Sugar's like, "This is weird," and Sugar, he bounces. He leaves the crew, don't want anything to do with it. Whatever the hell is going to happen, he don't want to be a part of it.
I'm glad we see the side of Sugar, honestly.
Yeah. But no, so at this point, Shades is thinking that he and Mariah are on the same page. They have a plan that Shades has talked to her about, and they're going to go in there and execute this plan. That has not happened.
No, they go in and execute though.
Yeah. So Mariah and the crew, they march to Uncle, because the Uncle's with them, Uncle Bushmaster. He's blindfolded, and they take him to his restaurant, and there's a bunch of people in there. First thing that happens here is that Belephany stands up, and when she sees Mariah, of course, Belephany being Billy, aka Stephanie,
aka the girl of many names.
Yep, Belephany, and because she was the turncoat, technically, she was the OG turncoat.
Exactly.
She was the one that gave up Piranha to Bushmaster's crew to Silas, and. First thing that happens is that she is shot between the eyes, right in the forehead. And then her sister is shot along with her. And then everyone is shot.
Yeah, this went all out. Yeah.
This was a massacre. Everybody in there that wasn't a part of the crew shot.
And then they poured gasoline on poor Uncle Bushmaster.
Yep, they poured gas.
And set him on fire.
Yep.
Like, what the hell, Mariah? Yeah.
And then when his screaming became too aggravating, she shot him in the face.
Like, why don't you die already?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yep.
I mean, that was hard on both definitions. Like, that was just hard to watch, and that was some hard gangster shit.
It was.
Yeah.
And Shades was not cool with this.
No. Like, he actually looked... I couldn't decide if he was just... unokay with it, like, oh, this was not cool, or he was actually like a little shaken, like, oh, what the hell?
I think both.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, even if you go back to a previous episode, when he found out that they had sold guns to Bushmaster and that he was going to be their enemy, you know, even then he said we had to put an end to this soon because we don't need innocent blood to be spilled in the streets. Shade says he's never been cool with seeing completely innocent people die. Now, his perception of innocent is a little askewed compared to most. Sure.
True, yeah.
But he does still have some sense of morality about him where he doesn't like to see truly innocent people get killed. And this was like a hard mark against his morality. Like, he did not like this at all. Next thing we get here is Mariah. She's back in Harlem's Paradise. She got her money back. She got her club back.
Yep. And
so now the tables have turned. Now she has everything, and Bushmaster basically has nothing, who we don't even see this episode, actually.
I mean, shoot, he has less than he came here with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we get some pretty cool stuff here, though. We get a performance from Jadakiss and Faith Evans. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah. As they hang up, of course, the notorious...
Yeah.
Biggie picture.
The Biggie picture. So it's very fitting because, of course, Faith Evans is or was Biggie's wife when he was killed. For those of you who may not have taken Hip Hopology 101, I'm here for you. So...
How many words have you made up tonight? How many, Q? We're going to release a dictionary for sale.
Hip Hopology is a weird word, Kevin. I have my degree in it.
He holds up the degree. Oh, shit.
It's an actual degree.
You have a doctorate in this.
Have my doctorate in it, yeah.
I know, right?
But yeah, so Faith Evans, she was the wife of Biggie at the time of his death. But also another interesting side note is that the actress that plays Nandi in the 2009 biopic Biggie that came out, she played Faith Evans, who was Biggie's husband. So
wow,
yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know. Yep. And then the last, yeah.
Like, no, I'm just kind of like still taking that in. Like, That was on purpose.
Yep, it had to have been.
It had to have been, yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, I didn't even recognize, because she didn't have the blonde hair, obviously, in this show. She had the straight blonde hair, and when she played Faith Evans.
Yeah.
But no, like, you put up pictures of them, like, side by side. Like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, no, I can totally imagine it. Yeah.
Cool. Last scene we get here is Luke and Danny enjoying some Chinese food.
Classic.
Yep. Danny reveals to Luke that Claire actually sent him there.
And also that he loves pork. This is the second show where he's like, oh, hey, pork.
He does. He really does like pork. I guess they didn't have that in Kunlun. Yeah.
Pigs can't go up that high.
I guess not, yeah. The elevation kills them.
It's a dirty animal. You can't have pig up there, man.
But dragons are clean.
Dragons are clean.
Yeah.
But not pig. Yeah. There's your Pulp Fiction reference.
Yeah. Luke does, bring up a pretty... They mention Game of Thrones at this point now.
They do!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But no, I thought it was an interesting touch how Luke was like, so the whole dragon thing, that was a metaphor, right? Like, you didn't literally fight a dragon. And Danny's like, okay, so you can believe that you're bulletproof and that my fist glows, but you can't believe that I fought a dragon. And I'm with Luke. Luke goes, no, I can't believe it. And that was something that a lot of people were not upset about, but I guess a little frustrated with. Is that in Iron Fist season 1, we all, myself included, expected to see like the dragon.
Yeah.
But no, we never saw that. Hopefully we see that in season 2, like hopefully a flashback.
So, yeah, because that is a setup for that.
Yeah.
In
Defenders, we see like a skeleton of some kind of serpent creature.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it looked dragonoid,
right?
But
yeah, we'll see.
We're just saying. Yeah.
And so that's where 210 leaves us.
Yeah, the ending of this one was kind of like it just kind of dropped and happened. Like, we had this conversation in the Chinese restaurant, and then it ends, and they're talking about some cool shit, and then like the camera not even slowly backs away while they're joking. Like they're just in the middle of joking, and then credits. Like, so it felt like a soft ending.
I agree. I mean, I guess maybe they didn't want to have it ending with that massacre, and then with Mariah seemingly having won the day.
True. Plus, all the focus on mentioning a benefit to the weird ending here. All the focus was on the friendship of Luke and Danny, which of course they wanted to play up on. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, overall, I really enjoyed these 3 episodes, man. I enjoyed these a lot. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with these. I thought that Mariah was great throughout the 3 episodes.
Oh yeah.
I thought that Shades was also great. Like, he had some good progression there as well. Like, all the main characters are really good, man.
Yeah.
Misty was really great.
She gets less attention, I feel like, in these parts. Definitely Mariah gets a lot more of it, and that's cool.
I mean, because look how much she had like the first half of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, Misty had a lot, and it was all great stuff.
I mean, Misty carried a lot.
I was going to say that. Yeah, she carried a lot of the stuff in the early season. I will say this, like, I definitely enjoy Luke Cage or Mike Coulter as Luke Cage. Yeah. I think that he's like a great choice to play Luke Cage.
He really has been.
Yeah, I think his wife is actually like an executive producer for Netflix.
Okay, talk about influence. Luke Cage come up. Hey, so I think we need to put this in the script. No, we can't put that in the script, man. You know that's a bad idea, honey. Put that in the damn script, Steven. You know your job.
Oh,
don't make me take you back to the boomstick.
Shit.
Just holding up mics, yeah.
I will say this, though. Sometimes his performance does feel the most limited. And I mean that in the best way I can possibly say that,
I'm trying to think of examples. Are you talking about in like his heavier dramatic scenes when he has to show another side?
It definitely shows in his dramatic scenes.
Right, yeah.
Like it definitely bleeds through there. But then there's just other moments where he could be on screen and it can be a really intense scene, and his would be the only one that possibly feels the least forceful. I mean, like, there's even instances with, I forget the guy who plays Bushmaster, the guy who plays John McIver.
Oh, yeah. I always pull up the cast page just in case.
Starts with
Mustafa Shakir.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mustafa Shakir. Yeah.
Yeah. What you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like when he's asked to turn it up for his scenes, like he turns it up, and he does it with an accent that's not his own. That shit is impressive.
Great. Yeah. The
That shit-
dialect, the accent, so good. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is damn impressive. I don't think that Mike Culture can quite pull it off that same way. Not all the time.
Right. I will say this, though, reflecting on something insightful you pointed out last episode for us. Our boy John McIver, Mustafa, he's been given short scenes.
Yep.
You know, and that's still kind of the case with these last
Still
three
is.
episodes.
Still
a
is.
little better with like the big one where he's attacking the Rand building, and you know that was a little longer, but
I mean, even then he showed up for
then.
that scene.
right, yeah. So
Yeah, it's still kind of the case, you know.
yeah, exactly.
I guess maybe he's like a good dessert. That sounded homosexual. What I mean
it
is
really did.
What I mean is that you don't need to have it all the time, but it's nice when you get it.
Right. It's like a medicine. You don't need too much of it, you know.
Well, he doesn't.
Right
He doesn't
dosages.
fix anything.
He doesn't fix shit,
He does
you know.
quite the opposite.
He does. In fact, he made situation a little worse. One could argue for his family there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which causes me to double down on my ice cream or dessert metaphor.
Oh,
because
gosh.
that shit is not good for you.
Oh gosh. Good job turning that around. But yeah, man. Any other thoughts or anything?
No, I think I'm good, man. I'm really enjoying the show. Like these last 3 episodes have been a really good pick me up. I thought that the 3 episodes prior to this, 5 through 7, I thought that they were good. Still a little slow on the pickup, you know. Like they still didn't want to hit the gas pedal.
Yeah.
It still took a lot of time getting us from A to B. But what we saw in the previous 3 episodes were still pretty good. Just slow moving the plot forward.
Right. And I'm curious because I need to go back and watch some of the other series again before I confidently make this statement and iron it out hard. But I think this has been the slowest developing Netflix Marvel show as of yet. Either this or Iron Fist 1.
I was going to say Jessica Jones Season 2. That one was pretty slow moving.
Oh, ooh, good point. Yeah. Jessica Jones Season 2. Both these Season 2s, man. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'm really curious to see how this show ends with these last 3 episodes.
It needs to continue going uphill like it has been, man. Because these last 3 have really brought up, like, the final score, in my opinion. Like,
exactly.
Damn.
Me too. And I'm really curious to see, like, because they have to do something with Bushmaster that makes him a credible threat again. Yeah. You know, before this season wraps up. Yeah. And they really, you know, right now Mariah, she's at like she's riding like the clouds right now, man. She's on cloud 9 right now. Like, what are we gonna do to bring her back down to earth? There's got to be a falling out between her and Shades. We got to see how that plays out.
Right. One last question before we sign off. If you had to make a bet, if you called any part of the plot that's going to happen in these last 3 episodes, what would it be?
That's an unfair question because Facebook has spoiled some things for me already.
Damn it. Dadgummit, dude. Yep. You gotta unlock that shit. You just gotta unfollow them or whatever.
Yeah. They have definitely spoiled some stuff. But I don't know if I had to guess something. I'm gonna guess that either Shades or Mariah dies.
Really? Yep. Shit, dude, you read my mind. No,
really?
I was thinking the same shit. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Dude, give me some love, man. Hell yeah.
I don't know what that means for Bushmaster.
I don't know what it means for him either. I'm honestly chalking it up because history repeats itself. I'm thinking that it's either a one and done or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's probably gonna be a one and done. I mean,
I see it.
Even we see him getting sicker, and now he's using the nightshade. That's gonna make him even more.
The uncle's words have to come to pass.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't see him making it through the season either.
No. Yeah. I do foresee Mariah or Shades passing away, and then the survivor kind of reigning and feeding off that emotion. Yeah. You know, Tilda, I think is going to be an interesting wild card.
Right.
Because I don't see her going methodical. where she's not necessarily evil, but her purpose alters dramatically. You know?
Absolutely.
And I do kind of see her almost more on the villainous side.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't think that you introduce and bring in this character without the intention of being vaguely true to her canonical roots.
Right. You
So
can't
I think
walk
that,
dead.
Right. I think they'll plant the seeds for it.
Yeah.
You know, for her heel turn. But yeah, if that's all you got, I think we're done here.
No, I'm good, man. Yeah,
absolutely.
let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Tomorrow night actually. By the time some of you will be listening to this, we'll be covering Ant-Man and the Wasp. We'll be doing our review of that. And this coming Sunday, we'll be wrapping up our coverage of Luke Cage Season 2 by covering the last 3 episodes. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, guys.
Yeah.
So that's going to be all for now. Be sure to check out our Patreon page, guys. There's a lot of cool shit there. Always a lot of cool content. Mm-hmm. So if you want like all of our full reviews of movies, new movies, and cult classics, video games, TV shows, all that and more, go to www.patreon.com/superherohomies. You can get all that content.
Hell yeah. Don't be afraid to show some love. And again, don't be afraid to show your friends and family the podcast page either. Hell yeah. Let them come and enjoy the nerding out.
Absolutely.
The mini references we make.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any other questions, comments, gifts, food supplies, or nightshade, then you can hit us up at superherohomies@gmail.com.
I'm good on that last one. I'm fit, bro. I'm good.
But yeah, as always, guys, that's going to be it for now. We see you tomorrow. Until then, my name's Quentin.
I'm Kevin.